failed to go live yesterday. I got home and there's so much going on, and I was so utterly exhausted and so hungry, and I had to eat. And then by the time I ate, it was late. I could not go live. And my husband's like, go do it. And I was like, I don't have it in me. I just can't do it. I was supposed to do an ephemera extravaganza, and I didn't get to finish my printable. So I'm working on a printable that I'm going to have available that's brand new, and I'm going to be using it in the live. So I think I'm going to do that on next week sometime, because I need to get it all together. This weekend is crazy. We have like a major event at the radio station in the mall tomorrow. And so I've been working on that behind the scenes, trying to get it together, trying to finish it up this morning. And we have some flyers I had to print, put together. And I thought, if I don't go live right now, I'm not going to go live today, because there's so much to do. And then we have another event personally in the store where my husband is, and that's where I carry like my concealed carry purses, and he has the hunting store inside. So we have two events going on on the same block, on the same street tomorrow. And then they're saying that we might get tornadoes and stuff. So it's been crazy. It's been hectic. So let me know what the weather's like where you are. Right now, it is absolutely beautiful. I came home. We live in a dead end. We don't have a lot of neighbors. And I came home and I was cracking up because I pulled in like facing their house, and then I backed up into my driveway, and the girls across the street are in bikinis. And I thought, hi, welcome home. I thought I was laughing. Hi, Carol. How are you doing? Okay, this is what we're doing. I need to upcycle this. So this is actually a little bit heavy. All right, so I was talking about like the craziness of my life. So I love to paint these over, and like sometimes when something is all one color, although there's gold and there's some highlights, but it looks like it's been faded, like especially here. You can't really see all of the details. And so we're going to paint this over, but not just this. I mean, this one is heavy. There's three shelves that go with it, I guess, or they can be separated. However, so we're going to paint them all the same way. And if someone wants to buy all 4 pieces, they can buy all 4 pieces, or just buy the one in the shells, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to figure that part out. So I'm going to be using the Klingon brush R14 because this has a lot of crevices. I've cleaned this a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to worry about anything right now. Maybe I need to get this down. Let me see. If I bring this, no. And that's too close to me, but I guess it's going to work. I wish I could scoop my chair back. I'm rocking everything. All right, I'm going to be using DIY Paint Vintage Linen. We're doing a layered look. Hey guys watching on YouTube, how are you? We're going to be making this over. We're using DIY Paint, which is my favorite paint. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be in every single crevice, because we're going to be distressing this back. We're going to add layers of paint. I like to do this combination. I love those brushes. 2 Patience. They're my favorite. I do have them available on my website. This thing is heavy. I probably should have put something underneath to lift it up. But I'm going to see how I'm not covering everything. This is just the first coat of many. Well, several. I like to start with white. And then today I have a mix of this one color. I'm going to show it to you here in a second. I'm going to use a little bit of this brown color. I mixed weathered wood with some other paint colors a long time ago. I had some left. It was like at the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. And it is actually hardening. So I have some water sitting in there because DIY paint is all natural paint. Hello. And you can reconstitute it with water. It's one of the reasons why I love it. And there's, of course, one of the many reasons. You can do so much with DIY paint. It is literally my favorite paint. So I like the oval brushes when there's a lot going on, because they can really get in there and cover things up. And this is a piece that you're going to have to turn every which way to try to make sure you get that paint in there. You need a Lazy Susan to put it on. I have one. somewhere, but this is heavy. I don't even know. I need a heavy, solid Lazy Susan. That's a good point. Because I have a Lazy Susan, but this might break it. Like, it's heavy. But yeah, that's a good idea. Wow. Like, it hurts my fingers to hold it. Hey, Martha. Thank you, Carol. Yes, if you do on Facebook, if you do exclamation group, it'll take you to a group that I have. If you do exclamation email, you'll join my list. If you do exclamation shop, you'll be able to shop on my online shop, where I have all the things we're using. Start with this white. This is one of 5 whites. There's beadboard, white swan, vintage linen, crinoline, and tarnished gray. And tarnished gray is a nice one. It is exactly gray. It's a white gray. There's a lot of gray in it. So look at how very little, uh-oh, that came off my brush. Very little paint I'm putting on here. I did a short video last week to take care of the, show how to take care of the back to life on the DIY paint page. I have to go check it out. Wait, I did a short video last week on how to take care of your paint and how to bring it back. Oh, that's always a great video. I can share that if you send me the link on which I used to go on the DIY paint page for 3 years, every Tuesday at 11. And I finally stopped, I don't know, last year sometime. It's just, I liked it, but I just wanted to go live on my own page. And then I actually stopped doing lives after I did that. Because if kind of being on the DIY page did force me to go on. And it is good, but I think there was just too many people on there and that weren't getting a lot of views. And I also wasn't painting as much furniture because I really like to paint furniture. So a lot of people weren't painting furniture. So, you know, I wanted to show how great it was to paint. I did a little bit of everything. I did signs. I would do paper projects or mixed media art as well. But I did like to do a lot of furniture, and I wasn't really painting as much. So, and then it just got hard to do. I was doing too many things. So anyway, that is my story. So very, very little, a little bit amount of paint. I'm going to wait to do the back because, all right, so let me put this one down. It's loud. Okay, so these shelves come with, and I really need to take this glue off. I thought I hit it with the heat gun, but there was 3 of them. I may have missed. I think I only did it to 1 actually, now that I'm thinking about it. If I had a baby wipe, that would be better. Okay, so I mean, there's some staining on these. I did clean them, like I said, but I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I can show you here how well this brush and how well the paint covers. I mean, this is dark, and look at the coverage with very, very little amount of paint. Now, I will say, I have a feeling because of where I got this, it was a smoker's house, and a lot of times people don't realize when they smoke in that house, like, it gets on everything, that nicotine. It's really disgusting. So I'm sorry if you smoke, but I have a hard time with that. So it might bleed, or there's oils or dirt or like maybe a cleaner. Pledge is like the worst thing that a furniture painter, I think, probably can't stand. Like the worst thing, because you clean something, you clean it, and then you think, oh, it's clean, and then you realize, oh, they cleaned it with Pledge. Because that's what you were told. I used to do the same thing before I started painting furniture. And you don't realize the buildup and the oil, and so it will come through. And then you have to prime it with Salvation Solution. That's what I do. Or shellac. I'll do shellac too. And then go ahead and paint it. Because if it's bleeding, you don't want to keep painting. You're going to waste your paint. You're going to waste your time. You're going to get frustrated because whatever is coming through, it's going to keep on coming through. It's going to keep on doing its thing. That is for sure. So, save yourself the heartache and just stop what you're doing and prime it. Salvation Solution is a great solution. It really is. It does save your project. It saves your sanity as well. I don't know if that's what Debbie was thinking when she named it Salvation Solution, but it really does. So there's a clear and then there's a white one. I found that I was doing the clear if I wanted to distress back to the wood, but I found that if you paint it with the Salvation Solution and then you go back and you paint it with your paint, you can sand it. So like you can't distress it back like, you know, to wood. Like if you wanted a chippy look, you can't do that, but you could sand it. What I like about DIY paint is that I can use my baby wipes to create lots of different, it makes it look like it's been layered. If you have a lot of paint that you're putting on, you can really create a really cool look. I mean, if you just did white and left it like that and distressed a few more spots, there's a spot, where is that, right here? It's hard to paint backwards. Hey guys on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Please go ahead and give me a follow or a sub. I would love it. I'm doing 30 days of lives right now, and I'm going to be doing all different types of projects. So look at how quickly this goes. So I'm just going to put this one down, and then, like I said, it doesn't matter. We're not going for perfection, because we're going to be creating a different look. I did this once before, actually on the DIY paint page, a year and a half ago, maybe. I got a really, really dark shelf. One of those, like, I don't know, 2 feet maybe, and it was really ornate like this. I got it from my ex-husband actually, and his wife. They didn't want it anymore, so they thought, oh, well, maybe you could use it, and they gave it to me, and I was like, you're gonna regret it, you're gonna want it back after I'm done with it. And sure enough, they had made a comment, but I did this technique to it, and I really like the way that it turned out, and so I thought this one is a good candidate. I'm going to change it up a little bit, but it's pretty much the same technique. We're going to do a couple of paint coats, going to do some washes, going to probably maybe distress it a little bit more. We're going to see where we're at, how it turns out, and then I might add some black wax and some clear wax. Hey Linda. And then seal it up and call it a day. But something like this is super fun to do, because this is where you can play, because guys, it's just paint, right? It's just paint. If you don't like it, add another coat. If it's so easy. And this is something that you could experiment with. So if you have something already in your house or you're thrifting items, this is a great way to make it over and try something new, play with the paint. It's just so easy. Like I said, we don't have to get full coverage every which way. I don't know what that is, but just get it on there. And I mean, I can look up close and I can see it's not perfect. It's just one coat, but look at the coverage. One coat, just a little bit of paint. Hey, Estella. See that? It looks pretty good. If I just added a second coat, I could call it a day. Is that right there? Here. But see how the oval brush, the round, the oval or the round. This is R14 Klingon. I like the long handles. At first, when they first came out with these and I started using them, I thought, that handle is just so long. That's extra. But y'all, this is great if you are down on the floor And you have, I need to get this down. Speaking of down, let me get this down. I'm gonna put this on my, will it stay here on my, yep. I got it on my laptop stand. While I'm there, I'm gonna hit this thing. So, hold on. What did I do with my baby wipes? I usually have them right here. I feel it. Okay. Oops, dog hair. There's always dog hair. What was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, but let me even back up to that, because I started saying I'm doing 30 days of lives. If you haven't known about that, every day I'm doing something totally different. We're gonna paint. We're gonna do paper stuff. Like I said, I have a ephemera printable I'm working on. Mixed media. We just did a mixed media. Oh, I should show you guys. This is the mixed media piece that I did. Is this it up here? No, that's not it. What did I do with it? I took a picture of it. Uh-oh. I don't know what to do with it. I was going to show it to you. I did post a picture of it. Oh. I got it. I got it. So this was the new decoupage papers by Decoupage Queen. I'm trying to see if I can get more. I was talking about the brush. Thank you. All right. This is the piece that we did with the rice paper. I used one of these sketch ladies right here, and then I finished out her dress. We painted her dress too, so you can paint decoupage papers. We used napkins. I used a raised stencil. We used all kinds of, this is how it turned out. And then of course I cut the ends, and then I distressed the ends a little bit. So that's how that turned out. That was super fun. I love playing like that. I'm gonna throw that up there. So these long handles, like when you're painting a piece of furniture and you're on the floor and you can't get in there, and you can go like this and paint. Yeah. I was like, yes. And then the other thing, oh, I shouldn't have put the pin on there. I'm going to show you the other thing that I like. The way that it sits in your hand, because I thought that's going to be awkward. But it just like, it's well balanced, and they're light. They're not heavy brushes. And I like that. There's bigger ones, there's smaller ones. I have the big wall one, which is still in the plastic. I've yet to use it. I love, this one is heavier than this one. But this is also really wet. And I've got the angled one. I've got the small ones. I love them. I love those Klingon brushes. They work so well. And they clean so easily. It stabilizes the brush in your hand. It's exactly. But I've had other long ones that it didn't feel that way. But the Klingon definitely does. I usually tend to go to the short one, because I like how I don't feel like I'm wasting a lot of paint on there. The bigger ones, they hold so much paint, and if I'm doing a small project, I don't like to waste paint unless I do it on purpose, and then I put it in a mason jar with water, and then I'll use that water for like watercolor or for a wash. But like this small one, this is the S30. I have one specifically for top coating, and I couldn't find it. And then this one is for painting. And like you can do anything from really small or canvas to big pieces of furniture. Sometimes I'll paint a big piece of furniture with that small one. You can get done. You really can get her done. So I don't care if there's a little bit of texture. I want this to look old world. That's what Klingon is by Klingon. This is a Klingon brush. That's the brand. So they're available on my website. If you just do a search on my website, go to do exclamation shop. If you're on Facebook, you can do a search on Klingon. Just Klingon, 2 words. Or you can do a search on brushes, and all the brushes will show up. It's also under tools, I believe. So I've got it where you can find it any which way. But you really can get things done very, very quickly. You don't want to overbrush DIY paint. Let me just say that, because if I kept like this trying to perfect it, my brush is really wet, so that it doesn't help. I'm gonna just keep on. You know how you do latex paint? You just keep on brushing and you're like, oh, I missed a spot. I'm gonna get that right there. I don't know, you can't see it there, but the paint starts coming off because of the clay. So you if you keep on brushing, you're taking the paint off, and then you think, oh, I got to keep on brushing because it's not blending and it's not working. No, stop. Let it dry. Let it dry, and then your second coat will pull it all together. And a lot of times with my second coats, if you've watched me or watched any of my videos, you see I will mist it with water. And even though it seems like kind of weird because you want it to dry and you don't want to keep on painting, but then you mist it with water and you're like, wait, what? It just reactivates the paint. It helps to blend it, and especially with your second coat, the more water that you use, the more water that you use, the thinner the paint becomes. That's how you can do watercolor. That's how you can do watercolor. 10-to-1 ratio, you still retain all of the pigment because DIY paint is so highly pigmented because of the clay. It requires more pigment than any other paint, and that's why you can water it down. But because of the clay, that's how it can adhere to anything. I've never had it not adhere to something. I've painted glass. I've painted ceramic before. You guys saw last week, if you watched, I painted a ceramic little vase there, and then we painted it in old school, and once it dried, I white waxed it. It's in the store. It looks so good. All right, so let me do this. Don't use a heat gun next to your Klingon brushes, any of your good brushes really, because it'll singe them. Ask me. You don't want to. They're, you know, Klingon brushes are an investment, but they will last you forever. And what I usually do is when I'm done cleaning them, I put them in a mason jar of water overnight, and the paint just kind of comes off, and then all I'm doing is removing the paint water from it. It's so easy to care for, but don't use a heat gun. So I'm speeding this up, and I mean already, honestly, even just like this, I'm gonna turn him around. I almost said a girl, but it's a boy. It's a boy. All right. You can already, just from that one coat, because it's kind of like a distressed look because it's not completely covered, you can see the details on this piece, where before it was just one color. I mean, there was, like I said, there was gold, but it's pretty much, it was all dark. But now the details will start popping. So I just want this to dry. The heat does help speed up the curating process, because it takes a curing the curing process, because DIY paint, it takes a long time. It's natural. It takes a long time to cure. Don't let the tip touch the card. Don't ask me how I know. Don't let the tip touch the cord. Oh, the cord. Girl. Yeah, don't. Or don't set your heat gun down and put your arm on it. Let me tell you, I was doing something, I was talking about that, how I almost burnt myself. No, how I did burn myself on a live, on my dining room table. I had put the heat gun, I was using my big heat gun for when I do like big projects. This is just my craft one, but it works. And I didn't know that it was where I had put it. I didn't realize it because I don't usually keep it there. I usually keep it on the chair next to me. Well, I had it on the table, and I went and reached over something, and I was like, hello. I had the biggest scar, a burn scar. And then, you know, you got to smile and keep going. I'm glad that I was on a live, honestly. Like, it helped me not to cry. Like, it helped me. Yeah. And then I was telling somebody about it, and I don't know where I was doing a project. Oh, the corkboard I just recently did for my friend's business. And I had the heat gun there, but I had a glove on. I had something on. I don't know why I had a glove on. And because of that, I didn't burn myself. Because it was already cooling down, but they stay hot. I had that big one too. And I had it sitting. Y'all, there's dust in here. Don't tell nobody. It's okay. It's just texture. The same with the sanding glue gun. I know. Oh my goodness. I watch people on YouTube with glue guns. I don't use glue guns a lot. I have several of them. I just don't use glue guns anymore, but much. Very rarely. And then they're touching everything with their bare finger. Like, I'm like, you have no skin. Like, you have no fingerprints left. If you're able to touch a heat gun, I mean a glue gun, you know, the glue when you're, and just with your bare hands, like, you're a beast. You're a beast. All right, so so this is what this looks like. There's a big drip gloppity right here. I'm leaving that there. Because you know what? In the old days, like, we look at stuff and we're like, oh, it has to be perfect. No, it does not. You lose the character. I mean, if you're going for modern, I guess it has to be slick and clean, no texture. I don't go for that. I don't really like modern that much. I like vintage, and I like, you know, chippy, layered, or blended. Like, I love those looks. Okay, so I'm gonna do it this way so I can see it. So I'm trying to debate. I don't think that I want another white coat. I think I'm gonna do, nope, I'm not. So I've got faded burlap, which is a favorite of mine to use when doing washes over white. Or if something is really bright and I want to tone it down, kind of like I do with the paper crafting with the tissue paper, same difference. So this was goopity goppity. That is an official term. It was. So I put water in there. I'm going to show you. I'm going to see if I can do it without splatting, because sometimes I do it. It's thick. This, look at that. It's chunky. So if I work this out, it will turn back to paint. I rarely use a glue gun. Martha said, I cry when I get burned and have to force myself not to give up. Listen, it's no joke getting burnt. It's no joke. Why this is going to be good for me, I'm going to try to get some more paint down and a little bit softer. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I'm literally creating paint water. My dog, sorry. I'm creating paint water. Hey, Rummy. Rummy. See, they egg each other on. And that's what drives me crazy. I apologize. So I'm going to leave it like this. See that? Actually, I'm going to let it continue souping up. Ginger. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead. I don't know what's out there. Something's out there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and paint. My brush is really wet. So I'm just going to, see, that was just one little dip. I didn't even spritz it with water. Killer dog, exactly. All of them. There's 4. And there's the puppy. And I don't want the puppy to start barking, because if the puppy starts barking, he's high-pitched. Drama. So I'm not going to wet this one to reconstitute it, because my brush was sopping wet. So look at that. Just a little bit of water. And that's all we needed. Okay. That's Ginger. She's the mama. And she's still in protective mode because she still has a puppy here. But they don't like other people, and they don't like cars, and they don't like other animals. So it might be a dog across the street or something, or a cat, squirrel. Sorry. They've got, oh my goodness. I know people have told me before that their dogs will start barking when they hear my bark. I may have to go see. It could be a delivery. We just had a delivery a little bit ago, which I'm so excited, just in time for tomorrow's event. I had banners made to put in my husband's hunting store section. You know, it's a store within a store. So I wanted to get signage to brand our stuff, and also so people know all the things that he does. Plus, I made a banner for myself for the concealed carry purses that I'm carrying. So my section's going to be all pink, and his is green and orange and black. But it's going to make sense. All right, so here we go. Okay, you know what? I'm going to turn this upside down because I have so many crevices back here. I'm going to go ahead and just... So, like, this just makes it look aged. Is what I'm doing. I'm making it look aged. And, you know, we can add some more white. We can go back and forth and create a really cool look. So if you only have a little bit of paint, especially if it's DIY paint, you can make it go a long way. You definitely can. And especially if it's gotten chunky, you can do ray stenciling. You can do that chippy texture, lay it on with a palette knife. So you can do that on canvas as well, or on home decor, or whatever you're doing. I think I should have done it like this. It's just easier. I can see it better. Can you see it better? So let me turn it towards you. So obviously it's upside down, but you know, while we're talking, let me just paint the back side so that I don't, you know, you couldn't really make everything out. So we're just making it better, more neutral, because I think this could fit in lots of people's houses the way that we're going to do it. And like I said, I did a shelf like this. It's just that old world look where it looks like it's been painted over so many times. And so I always want to do the back sides of these kinds of things. I don't always paint the backs of furniture. I guess it just depends. Like if it's a piece that could go in the middle of a room, I guess, or I guess if you're staging it in a store, you might want to do it that way, because some backs are really quite hideous, ugly. You might want to paint it. I just hate wasting paint. It's so, like, this paint goes such a long way. It does, and it's okay, but I try not to waste paint because I love it so much. If you have any questions about DIY paint, ask away. So I'm just gonna dry this, so this way, the back I'll keep white maybe, and I'll just seal it. I'll probably do a second coat on the back. So what are you guys thinking so far? Can you see the vision for Old World? Let me know too, what is your favorite style of decor? Do you still like the farmhouse or modern farmhouse, cottage core, minimalist, maximalist, modern? What are you? What do you like? What do you gravitate towards? I really like, I would say not eclectic, but I guess more of the modern farmhouse, because I still do like the chippy stuff, but I don't like white and black. I like to have color. So I don't know, maybe a little bit eclectic, I don't know. You like it, Patience? Thank you. Put the link to your video that you did on the DIY paint page here so that everybody could see it. And then I'll share it later too. Okay. So that we have some spots there, but see how fast? It dries so fast. Okay, y'all, let's see what we can do. So yes, we have some brown, but we're gonna add more. So this is a different color brown because this is something that I created. So we're gonna be dabbing it. Dabbing. And then I'm probably gonna wipe up. So this is not as brown as it looks. It's not. Thank you, I will when I get home. Okay. Okay, girl. No problema. So this is a way to build up some texture, some color, some depth. And then, of course, if you're adding the black wax or the brown wax at the end, that's just going to intensify it even more. So I'm going to hit this with this wipe. So the wipe is wet, obviously, but okay, let me see. I promise I will show it to you. And then we might add some white back in certain spots, but the wetness of it kind of makes it go a little bit more blended. Is this a real life? Yeah. French country shabby chic. Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah, I like that too. I like a little bit of all of it. But like I said, I like color too. So yeah, this is a real live. I know a lot of people doing faux lives, right? You're like, are they really live? Yes, I really am live. But it's cool that you have the ability to do that. So if you plan events, you can continue and keep your things going. I will say, you know, I planned the 30 days of lives and I'm still going to do it. But yes, tomorrow, no, today's Friday. So tomorrow, oh, you're at the craft store. That sounds like fun. That sounds maybe dangerous. Tomorrow I'm going to be at an event all day. So I'm going to go live, but from the store, and I'm going to show the purses and what's happening. So I'll go live there. So I'm not going to be doing any projects because I'm going to be exhausted when we get back. The store is going to close. I have to get to the mall for the first event for the radio station at 7 in the morning. Well, I have to be there before 7. I thought, oh my gosh, because I have to help put all the vendors in their spots. That was a new development yesterday, and I thought, oh crap. Okay, I'll help you. I'll do it. And then we're having the grand opening event at this store. Their store's opening 8 to 6. So I'll go to the first event. Then my friend, she has a coffee shop named Simply Poured, and she's having an event. Same location, just across the street from the tactical store. And we're gonna go over there. I'm just putting a lot of darkness in between the legs. It sounds a little bit weird, but anyway. And then we're going to be there for the rest of the day. Once I get there, my husband's gonna be there all day, because all the vendors, all the businesses that have joined forces with my friend Eddie, who's taken over the store now, will be there present, you know, because it's really powerful. And then we have other businesses that, you know, they like to promote their businesses, and so they're going to come out and be a part of the event as well. So it's fun. It's going to be fun. Now there's tornado, like I said, warnings, and the food truck canceled. I thought, why would you do that? Why would you cancel? Like, wait, because you know the weather lies a lot, and you never know. You never know what's going to happen. It's hard to plan. You could always have frozen the food. Now we're not going to have any food. So anyway, I'm going to get some white. And I need just a little bit. I need a small brush. I'm going to hit this. I just want to hit the tops with white. Yeah, maybe. I need a smaller brush. I'm going to hit. There we go. I want the shadows. I'm just going to kind of lightly pounce. So anyway, I'm going to be tired tomorrow with all that after it's all said and done, but I know I'm going to be really good. And then Sunday, we take off to Lexington for my daughter. She's going to be taking her state boards for cosmetology. And so what I'm going to do Monday is I will go live probably from the hotel or the thrift store, because you know we're going thrifting, right? Like, you know, we're going to go thrifting. And I want to have a good time. So we'll do something. I won't get home till really late because it's like 3.5 hours or so away, and then of course we're making stops, so it'll take a little bit longer. Had too much white on there. There we go. There we go. Can you see it? Can you see it coming together? Get that armpit in there. Get a little bit dark. Look at that. Look how it's coming together. What do you guys think so far? I mean, this is just quick. Look at all the details. Look at how it's popping. Thank you. Look at that. He looks a little bit weird. He looks a little bit sad, but we're going to brighten up his face a little bit, baby. Thank you for the hearts, y'all. Thank you. So yeah, so look for tomorrow. Like I said, this weekend the lives are going to be a little bit different, but you know, help a sister out, like, comment, and follow, and I'll do all those things to help me. That would be so appreciated. And then on Tuesday I'll come back regular. We'll do a project, and then if I just don't foresee me being able to finish my ephemera packet that I wanted to do before we leave. So that's why I'm saying I'm gonna reschedule it for someday next week. I'll let you know for sure, because I'm gonna send some emails out. So if you're on my email list, you'll get an email where you can download a link to the pack before I go live and remind you that I'm going live. So, oh, Martha, I didn't see you. I grabbed pink buttons, roses, lace, ribbon, fabric, paper. Pink is the best thing yet ever. The other stuff is great too. I love it. I love it also. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna just put a little bit of white on there, and then I'm gonna touch up, because you want to see all of the colors. You want to see it all blendy, like layered, blendy, mushy. You know what I mean? There we go. His face is coming together. Now we can see his sockets because they're a little bit darker. I'm going to put a little bit like on his mouth. There we go. Now he looks like he ate chocolate. Let me just see. There we go. There we go. All right. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with this top layer. And the more layers that you do like this, the more that you can make it look really old. But I promise you can do it with less layers and make it look like it had a lot of layers. Look at his face now. Wait. I don't want to get my hands dirty, but I'm trying. I know what they are already. His face looks a lot better now, doesn't it? A lot better. Okay. So let me look at it. It helps me to look at it on the camera whenever I'm doing something, or like I take a picture of it if I'm doing it by myself, and just see kind of where I'm at. I'm looking at both of my cameras, just trying to see what I think I might need or not need. I mean, I could call him done. I could. All right, let me look at it. Let me look at him. Let me add a little bit of white on the feathers. Because then, you know, make him look like he has highlights and lowlights. Do all that stuff. We're going to add gold because I like adding gold on the top. You know, he had gold or brass. He was kind of brassy underneath. We could see a little bit on his toes. But those waxes at the end will make things pop a little bit. And let me get under here. And then we still have the depth, you know, there's some spots where we can still see the original. There's some that where it's too much. So I'm trying to fill that in just a little bit more. But I do want some of the original background to show. All right, so just to recap, well, you can't really tell, right? No, because the tops were lighter. This one, this is how dark it was. And then the body had a lot of that brassy color. So just so you could see the difference. It's a huge difference already. All right, let's see. Let's play with this one. Let's leave this one alone for a second. Man. All right, I'm gonna do just a little bit because this is the one I think that I kept playing with and acting like I was over brushing. Okay, I'm gonna hit, let me turn it towards me a little bit. See these brushes, you can't mess them up. Well, I guess you could, but I'm pretty hard on them. Hey, Julie. Girl, how are you? All right, thank you. All right, so let me hit this. If you wanted this straight white, like I've done that with some shells, and then you just distress it a little bit. I like, if it's dark, to do the white and distress back. I like the way that that looks, but if you like it hot pink or like a bright green, whatever matches your decor, do it. Don't let anybody stop you and tell you any different. If you like it, it works, right? Let me know in the comments. Something like this for your house. What would you have painted it? What would have made sense? I always think, like, if you have white walls, you know, if you paint it solid white, it won't stand out. So distressing it a little bit, if you wanted it all white, if you like that look, that would make sense. But like making it stand out from your wall so that you can actually see it, what color do you think that you would do? Like that. There's no right or wrong answer either. Like if you wanted solid white, perfectly painted, that's good too. That's good too. I had some drippy there. Back in the day, they did drippies. They used milk paint originally, and milk paint and even the latex paint. When you look at old doors and old houses, there's drip marks everywhere. And people get so upset when they see drip marks, but they did it. They did it like that. All right, let's see. Oh, my fingerprint. My fingerprint's on it. So let me know. What would you paint this in your house? What colors would you like for this to have been if you were going to keep it? Let me know in the comments. It just never fails. So I've almost been an hour. It says 49 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So, I mean, we did a lot with me talking. So my brush, a little bit more white. A little bit more white back on this one. But I also feel like, so there's 3 shelves plus this one. So if we're doing an old world aged technique, they're all gonna look different. Like I don't think you should try to worry about matching it up so that they all look exactly alike. I don't even know if that's possible, because I can paint something and then I go to maybe try to recreate it it's gonna be different. It's gonna look different. So for me, I'm gonna hit this back so I stop getting it dirty. I don't try to make it exactly the same. I'm just gonna do the same technique, and how it falls, it falls. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna try to perfect it or make it look exactly the same. No. No, 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 no. Okay. So let me look at it. Yeah, I definitely want, so like stippling it like this. So I didn't add any more paint. That's what I'm saying. There's so much paint on your brushes. I didn't add anything else. Is that shaking? Sorry. But just adding, giving it that mottled look. Can you see that? There we go. I want to just adjust. And see, that's what you can do. And that's why I like to let it dry. Thank you. I like to let it dry and see, because when DIY paint is in the process of drying, it's like a chameleon. It has a whole bunch of different things that it goes through before it settles down. And so sometimes it's important to just step back and take a look at it, let it dry, and then keep painting, because sometimes it might be better than what you think. There might be more coverage than what you think. It might be blended more than you think, because it's going through at different stages. So it's just one of the fun things about DIY paint. And then once it dries, it always dries lighter, but then it's more, yeah, it's more put together than what you think. So let's go ahead and let's look at, I'd put gold or pink on it. We're putting gold. We're putting gold for sure. Pink is a beautiful color. That would be nice to put some pink on it. I think that would be good. I'm gonna just go ahead, and my brush is really wet because this is watered down. And so see how I'm getting it in those points, those crevices where dirt, you know, fading, whatever that looks like. Whatever it is, like it's there. So I'm gonna pull up a little bit, and then it pulled up some paint too. So we went back to the original. So Julie said, oh, I thought it was I thought someone else had said, I didn't realize it was you. You'd put gold or pink. So do you have a lot of pink in your house? I used to have a set of pink chairs, but I got rid of them. I wish I still had them. They were actually pink and brown, one of them, and then one of them was like a beige. It was like a little settee set, like a modern version of a settee set, and man, I loved that thing. I had it when I first moved here. Well, I had it in South Carolina. I brought it here for when I first moved here, and because I didn't have a lot of room, so it was perfect. I used it in my living room, but I miss having pink, so that's why this room has pink. This room has pink. I love it. But I don't like all pinks. Like, I don't like bright pinks. I wouldn't even, I like hot pink. Like, actually my concealed carry purses that I'm carrying, they have a hot pink liner. I do like that hot pink, but I wouldn't want to wear that hot pink, and I wouldn't want it in my house. Like, you know, like there's certain colors that you like, but I wouldn't want it in my house. Like, man, I wish I could, like I don't know. I like the rose gold, and I like the dusty pink, I guess. And I like baby pink too. This right here has me. Like, I love how that looks right there. Can you see? But look, what a big difference from what I just showed you earlier. Like, you can see those details. Where's that? Oh, right here. I'm glad I looked at that. That's a little bit too brown right here. So we're gonna tone that down. But see, everything is fixable. Like when you step back and and look at it, then you can assess what do I need to change? What do I need to um, paint more, take away? You can kind of look at it and see. And so like somebody else might have thrown that paint away in that jar because they thought, oh, it got hard or it's not good anymore. I had this conversation with this lady that came to the store the other day. She bought a different kind of paint, and she said when she ordered it online, she said it had a horrible smell when she opened it up. It was like it had rotten eggs, spoiled, really, really bad. And she was kind of shocked, and she called the retailer. I had never heard of this paint line that he told me about. And I was like, is it a natural paint? She's like, I don't even know. Because I thought, you know, natural paints, if they get contaminated, can spoil. But she didn't know what it was. She just had seen it and she ordered it online, and she said it just smelled horrible. So the lady went ahead and sent it back. She said, all my other paint is fine. I don't know what happened. Which, you know, of course, you don't know what's inside of a jar because it's sealed. Like, it's not her fault. But she's like, I don't know. But she did the right thing. She replaced it. She opened up that jar. She got it the next, you know, the next time, whatever. And it was the same thing. She said that jar smelled. So then I was like, So I was like, she said, I threw it away. And I thought I'll use the jars. And I'm like, I hate that you know, wasted the money. I'm like, because DIY paint can contaminate. I will tell you that because of the tap water. It's what you're drinking, what you're cooking with is what has all that bacteria. And so I put water in here, but I put bottled water in here. Now, I will say that sometimes I forget to put my bottled water in here or filtered water and put tap water in. So it's going to get in my brush, or if I'm, you know, if I'm spritzing this, you should use distilled or, you know, purified water when you're painting, especially with DIY paint, so that you don't contaminate it. Most of the time I'm painting a lot, and so it doesn't matter. But if something happens, you get a film, and it does smell. It will smell. If you get a film in it, just scoop it out. The rest of the paint will smell a little bit for a little bit, but you can use it. I've done it because at first I would throw it out. I'm like, oh wow, I don't know what happened. I guess I contaminated it. I would just dump the whole thing out. Now when I think about that, yeah, the clay also will smell sometimes. Yeah, and it really is a contamination because this particular paint smells like clay, like Play-Doh, like clay, you know, like something like that. It doesn't really have a smell. When I painted the board at my friend's place of employment, the lady is very sensitive. Oops. The lady is very sensitive to paint smells or just smells in general. And I was like, no problems here because there's not going to be a smell. There's not going to be an odor. And I asked her and she was fine. There was no smell. That's the one thing that I do love about it. And plus, you know, it's natural. So no one has to worry. It's safe for everyone. I'm painting. I'm right here. I'm not inhaling any fumes or toxic things. You know, because you always hear about people that are in chemicals all the time. Later, they get sick and things happen sometimes to them, unfortunately. That's not going to happen with DIY paint. It's not. Not even, and Sweet Pickins milk paint, it does smell stronger. I sell that too. It smells stronger than DIY paint, but it is zero VOC. It's just because of the ingredients that are in it, like just the clay. The clay has its own smell. Ooh, I almost put this in the brown paint. I almost did that. All right, I'm just gonna touch this up a little bit, just a little, just so it doesn't look scratchy. I don't want it to look scratchy, but I am going to cover it up. So I mean, literally just a little bit of paint. And then I'm just getting in there. My husband was probably calling me to find out if I'm ready. I don't know what he said. He was going to come home early, and that's why I thought I need to go live because we got the banners that we're going to set up. to, like I said, to brand and promote our space. You have a pretty nice sized big room. Oh, he's here. I see you. I said you were calling me earlier. You didn't know I went live, but I was like, if I don't go live now, I won't go live since we have stuff to do tonight. And I didn't go live yesterday, and I was like, I can't do that. I was upset with myself that I didn't get to do it. I'm committed to doing the 30 days lives, and you never know. I might go a little bit more, but I definitely have plans of going live more. You know what, like I talked about at the beginning, I'm gonna hit this with water. And this is how you can contaminate your paint. And that was, I have a lot of faded burlap too, but I just need to use up the paint and it'll be fine. You know, I stopped going live so much when I stopped doing DIY paint, and my life just got so busy, but I'm committed to doing more content and creating more lives, and I don't want you to forget about me. I want you to know I'm still here and create some content. It helps me too. You know, I know that I prayerfully hope that I'm inspiring you. You're on your way home? Okay. But I also like it because it kind of makes me, it pushes me to explore and play and, you know, do things that maybe I wouldn't have done. You know, like you can push yourself more when you're doing it for somebody else. And so I hope I'm inspiring you and you inspire me, and then it helps me to do better, to be better. So, but I do want to say that during the 30 days of lives, I do want to pray for you if you have a prayer request. So every day I'm going to ask you that. And, you know, I hope that you will send me a prayer request if you have one, and then send me the praise report or the update if you do send it, or if you just have a praise report and you just want to share. I'm going to put it in my book that we created at the beginning of the month, and I'm going to be praying over that, you know, over the requests every day. So I think that's a lot of fun, and I want to do that. I've always wanted to do that, and sometimes I've said it, but I didn't say it enough, and so I'm just getting refocused. You know, I want to be able to share my faith like I usually do, and then also ask for prayer requests. So actually I just realized I've been doing a scripture every day, but I don't have one for today. Who has a scripture for me today? Does somebody have a scripture for me? That would be a change. Let's do that. Okay. So, see, isn't this crazy how dark this is? That weathered wood is so deceiving. But I think I added, I don't think this is just straight up weathered wood. It could be. See, and now it's getting, it looks like poop. It does. See how it's softening up? This was all on the bottom of my jar. And it's, let me see. There we go. It's getting softer. Did you see that? Just because it's been sitting in that water. And the more that I stir it, the more that it's like becoming more paint-like. Look at this. And it, can you see? Let me see. My brush is saturated. It's just not dripping. I was trying to get it to drip, but it's dripping. All right. But there's so much gray in that brown in the weathered wood. It is a great color to make something look aged. It really is. If you used it right by itself, like, you know, actually not toned down, not blended with anything. If you paint anything, especially something that's wood, it looks like aged wood. It's so weird. It's such a cool color because it looks so brown, but then it turns gray. It's so cool. I'm just blotting it. And see, I get things done when I do lives. Like, I've been wanting to do this one. Well, actually, I planned on doing it on a live. So It's not like it's been sitting here for a long time, but I want to bring this to either the store or my booth. I don't know which one yet, where I'm going to put it, but I get things done when I do the lives too, because I have to have content, so I get things done. All right, let me look at it. Oh, I see what I did. So look how easy it is to clean up. There's another paint line, and this lady had rented a space and had a store right next to me. I just told, I don't know that she'll watch my live, but she painted the floors. Anyway, it's the truth. She painted the floors, and she painted furniture on the floors without putting anything on there. It was not DIY paint because, of course, I have the territory. She sells another paint. It's been a nightmare to get that off because it has the sealer and all that stuff. DIY paint, I could leave my brush out for 3-4 days, a week, and I can get the paint off of it. Or I can spill it on the floor and I'll be able to get the paint off of it. One time when I had the first booth, we had spilled cherry picked. It had just come out. It's that purple color. A lot of pigment in that one. I spilled it all over furniture, the concrete floor, my jeans. They were a light color jean. My shoes, obviously my feet because I was wearing sandals. I spilled it everywhere. It was 2 jars of it. My daughter and I were cleaning it up, and I was like, I don't want to waste this paint, I'll use it. So I went to somebody else's booth. I got a big mason jar. We're scraping it with 2 plastic spoons, and we salvaged almost all of it. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. We're cracking up so bad, and the girls that work there, they're trying to help us as much as we can. They couldn't believe how much we had cleaned up. There was not a stain. The only stain was on my pants, a little bit on my pants, just a little bit. And that was it. We cleaned it up. So that's what I love about DIY paint. I say that's what I love, but there's so many things that I love about DIY paint. It's just an incredible paint and so much you can do with it. But it will not, you know, be hard to clean if you spill it. Or if you lay your piece down and forget. I dropped and busted a yellow jar one time. Oh my gosh. That was the only time I'd ever done that. But I know a lot of people have done it. And then the reason that I stopped carrying my paint in the booth, I don't know what you do, Patience, but I finally left the vendor mall because people were opening up my jars of paint. They would put their finger in it and then wipe it on my furniture, on the display. I would see fingerprints everywhere. They would even scratch my furniture, do different things. I'm like, really, y'all? Seriously? So I got out of there, but I'm back in there, but I just won't put my paint in there. I have my paint in a store, a local store, and I've never had a problem. It was the clientele for sure, but the booth is great for furniture and home decor, and you know, that's why I may put this in there. So I put a little bit of painted stuff. I have a little bit of painted furniture, but not much. You know, it's just, I'm going to hit this, blend this out a little bit. Like I said, I didn't put any other paint. I'm just using what's on my brush. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. Look, and then it's hard to show this, but I'm dabbing it. And I had some paint on there, so I picked it up. So now it's just mixing on my brush. And that's always fun. Some people like to use different brushes when they're blending. I typically use one brush because I can pretty much get it really well blended. I don't have a problem blending. But if you do, try using more than one brush. All right. You closed your booth a year ago. I had a lot of people think it was a candle. When it's funny because they actually came out with the DIY paint candles that, you know, but I've never had anyone say it thinks it was a candle. So are you still a retailer? I thought you were. Or how does that work? Or no? Or you just have extra paint? Okay. So let's see. This is just one scratch coat. One scratch coat. Look at the difference. See how aged and worn? Let me see. Let's do it like that. Of course, I have to finish the tips of it, but this is a great start because now I can let this sit here. If I want to spritz it with water, I can reactivate the paint when I get back on Tuesday because, you know, we're not going to be painting for the rest of the week. I can leave my brushes sitting here. You have a website now. Put your website link. Put your website on here. And then I can pick it back up on Tuesday. No problem. No problem at all. Easy breezy. This paint is amazing. And there's, like I said, so much you can do with it. What did I do at the top for this one? It's probably over there maybe. And then, of course, we're going to finish this, seal it. I'm going to add some wax. I love to use this golden rule. Actually, I just realized I have some in my closet. I need to bring it to the store because I think I only have 2 left. And it might say 2 left on my website because I always do the inventory based off of what I have at the store, so that, but I think I have 5 more. I need to check my inventory. But this is just a wax, and I like to use my finger. I wish this was a long jar because, like, I have long nails, and it's hard to get my finger in there. You get it all under your fingernails, but you can use a brush. I just like using my finger, but it would be nice, like, if you had a small little brush, you could do some detail, and you can do it as sheer. So sometimes I just put it on, and then if you rub it, it makes it look really sheer. But if you put it on thicker, you can really see the gold. I like to use that. I also have some Posh Chalk pigment that I'll mix in sometimes if I want it bright gold. But that's it, y'all. I can't wait to talk to you this weekend about the events. Tomorrow I'm going to be live at the store with my concealed carry purses. I'm going to show that and then show just what's going on at the store. Like I said, there's going to be lots of businesses. There's going to be a fun, upbeat live. But still, if you have a prayer request, you know, always chime in and give that to me or send it to me on my email or in Messenger. And then Sunday I'll be traveling. Monday we'll be in Lexington and traveling back home. So Tuesday we'll sit down and regroup, and I'll tell you about how Lexington went with my daughter. We're going with her best friend and her best friend's mom. So we're going in my car, so nice and roomy and comfortable ride, but I'm sure I'll be thrifting, picking stuff up. That's why we're going in my car, because I can pack a lot of stuff in my car. So anyway, I hope you guys have an incredibly blessed day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and following and commenting. Thank you for chit-chatting with me. I appreciate that. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. Ciao. Oh, don't forget, any of these products, go on my website, leesaboondesigns.com. You can just do exclamation point. I have shorts on. I have to like get, oh, that was my pedal to my sewing machine. I was stuck to the leather. It's hot. It's hot in Kentucky today. Anyway, exclamation shop. It'll take you right to my website, or just leesaboondesigns.com. I have my link tree there. You can just click on my link tree and it has all of the things in the places. All right, guys.